More water does not equal better ice. That's the fact that cost me more than a handful of terrible floods. Turns out the secret to glass smooth ice is using less water, not more. I'm about to show you the exact flooding technique that went from rough, uneven ice to glass smooth perfection. And why everything you think you know about flooding might be wrong. I've flooded this rink more times than I can count. Early on in the first few years, I'd spend hours out here carrying buckets of water from my downstairs basement, upstairs, out to the rink, filling up this hopper for my homemade home boning. Now, 15 minutes of actual flooding and the ice is better than it's ever been. Here's what makes this method perfect for beginners. You already have everything you need. Shovel, hose, water from your outdoor faucet. That's it. You don't need a special homemade home boney, no fancy equipment, no hot water heater. This is a simple method that works from day one. Today, I'm showing you the complete process. Prep work that most people skip, flooding technique that creates smooth ice, and the one mistake that ruins most floods. Let's start with the most important step. Here's the truth. A successful flood starts and stops with having a clean surface before you begin. And I mean completely clean. No snow, no loose ice, no texture. Because whatever's on the surface when you flood it, that's what you're locking in. So the first step is clear all the snow. If you've got snow in your rink, get it off. This is non-negotiable. Next, I'm shoveling the ice surface itself. I'm going to tell you something that sounds crazy. You need to shovel ice that already looks smooth. Here's why. Every time you skate, you create texture, tiny scratches, loose ice particles, rough spots. If you float over that without removing it, that water just follows that texture. You're adding a layer over the problem. For this, one good shovel is sufficient. Just a regular plastic snow plow shovel. Works just fine. Now, if you want to up your game, use a metal edge shovel after your first pass. That metal edge will really get the loose ice off and gives you an even cleaner surface to work with. But it's not required. And here's the critical thing. I'm not going to try to fix any problem areas by dumping extra water on them during the flood. That's the mistake that I've made far too many times. This is what creates that shale ice, that rough, flaky looking ice that doesn't smooth out, and you gotta scrape it all off and try again. This prep work takes maybe about 10-15 minutes tops. But this is where most people will fail. They skip this step or don't do a good thorough job, then start flooding on dirty or textured surface and wonder why their ice comes out so rough. Clean the surface first, everything else follows from that. Alright, equipment for flooding. A hose connected to your outdoor faucet and a spray nozzle. That's it. Now I'm using a flexible hose, which you can get at any garden center, and then also a quick connect, which I just picked up this year. It makes it easier to use in the winter. You're not wasting time screwing and unscrewing. Also have this outdoor bib that covers the spigot to help the faucet from freezing up. Now, one quick tip here. Once you're done with the hose, bring it inside. You cannot leave that hose outside, it will freeze up on you. Now, you may have heard that hot or warm water works the best. And yeah, it probably does, but here's the reality. This cold water straight from the faucet, when I say cold, it's coming out about 40 or 50 degrees temperature. It's turned out great every single time for me. So if you don't have access to a hot water, don't worry about it. Cold water will work just fine. Air temperature right now is in the mid-teens, dropping to single digits overnight. And this matters because it determines how fast your flood will freeze. Now for the technique. Thin layers. This is the key to everything. You do not want to lay it on fat. Go thin to win. Starting at one end, working across in smooth overlapping passes, constantly moving, never standing in one spot letting the water pool up. Here's what happens with too much water. It pools in low spots, runs off in high spots, freezes unevenly. You get waves, you get the shale, thin ice. But with this thin layer, the water spreads naturally and freezes nice and smooth. Now for those rough spots that we found earlier, treating them the exact same way as everything else. Thin, even layer. Do not put extra water over the top. For those spots, you may have to do a second flood to help smooth out. But we're not going to try to fix everything in one pass. You gotta be patient. The whole flood takes about 10-15 minutes tops. Shut the hose off. With this flexible hose, it's nice. Shrinks right up. Scoop it right back in the bucket. Carry it inside. Doesn't take up a lot of space. Super simple. Highly recommended. And here's the pro tip. Best time to flood is at the end of the night after the skating is all done. You're shoveling, scrape it clean, get the flood out, it'll freeze overnight, next day, ready to go. That's your optimal schedule. So here's the part that requires some discipline. You have to let it freeze, right? So the good news, in single digit weather like tonight, 6 degrees, these thin layers will freeze solid in less than an hour easily. So you don't have to wait all night for just a single thin layer to freeze before you can skate on it. So total active work on this took about 30 minutes from start to finish. Most of the time was just waiting for it to freeze up anyways. That's what created this glass smooth ice. Thin layers, proper freezing time between floods. So to wrap things up, here's what actually matters. Clean the surface first. Clear all the snow and the loose ice, all the loose ice debris. Shovel the ice. This is the most important and critical step. Number 2, less water, not more. Thin layers create smooth ice. Less is more, thin to win. Also, you don't need special equipment. Just regular cold water from the faucet works great. One good shovel is enough, and a nice flexible hose. Be patient. Let each layer freeze completely. About an hour for single-digit temps. If it's warmer than that, you're going to have to wait a little bit longer. That's why I recommend doing it at the end of the night. You'll have plenty of time to freeze up overnight when you're sleeping. Also, don't dump extra water on those rough spots. If you do one pass and you're still rough, not smooth as you want it to be, do another pass. Anyways, what's your biggest flooding challenge? Comment below. I've probably dealt with it. Hit subscribe for more backyard rink content. Thanks for watching, and good luck with your ice.